Hello and welcome. I'm Peter, joined by,
I'm Keith, also known as Duke KC.
and today we are doing a first of podcast, and we named it Back to the Lab. Back to the Lab. That's right. As cheesy as it is, I think we both like Back to the Future, and many
it's
of us
pretty good.
really like. Yeah, many of us really like to spend most of our time in the lab. Makes basically just getting stuck in the combo vortex, right?
Oh god, it happens every single time.
The combo vortex.
I guess since this is the first episode, I guess we should introduce ourselves more, right? Because in case someone doesn't know who we are.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you go first?
Okay, so I'm a Noctis and Devil Jin main, mainly Noctis, but I've been making content for Tekken for about roughly a year. And I've just been doing tutorials and character guides and stuff. And yeah, that's actually literally it. That's about it.
When did you actually start? I'm curious.
January of 2019. Oh, start playing
January?
the game?
No.
Oh, start making content? Yeah, January of 2019.
Oh, January? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm Peter, and I started making YouTube content, I believe, in March of last year. So in 1 month time, it'll be exactly about 1 year since I started creating content. And
Nice.
I started making, obviously, Brian content, as you can tell by the banners. I do play some secondaries like Fang, Kazumi, and
I don't know,
and
you have
Jack.
to be a strictly Brian main.
You know what, Kate? I think the main thing that I really like is that you say that you're mostly a Noctis main, and for
Yeah, my
your
image is
thumbnail,
Devil
for your thumbnail, the image is Devil Jin.
I'm Devil Jin. Look, man, I had to pick a legacy character that was gonna last, alright? Devil Jin's not gonna make it to the next... Oh, sorry. Noctis is not gonna make it to the next game. I gotta take Devil Jin, you know?
Or the other story is you didn't want people to not click your video, so you decided to pick Devil Jin because nobody likes Noctis.
Nobody likes Noctis, no. Look, I have the most fun with Devil Jin, but I perform better with Noctis. So when I want to win, I play Noctis. That's how it is.
I would prefer Noctis too if I just had to press the 2 button with no quarter circle forwards, no quarter circle backs.
Very easy. No execution needed.
Do you even have a forward input?
Yeah, 4-4-1+2. That's his best move, man.
No, but no 4-4-2.
4-4-2? No, he has no 4-4-2.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, man, I played Devil Jin. I got some Mishima skills. All right. I guess we can jump straight into the topics, right?
Sure. So, Evo Japan.
Oh my god. What a
I'm
disaster.
not gonna lie. I told you. Okay, so I told you I was gonna watch the whole top 8 and then be ready to talk about this, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
No.
I watched. Okay, so what I did watch was the game, the grand finals, right?
Uh-huh.
I watched grand finals, and Book. You
Dude,
know, I've never
Book
seen Book so disappointed in a win.
When he said just pick Leroy, you could feel his heart drop. He was like, man, what have I done? You know? It was such a disaster. Because I was in Australia when this happened.
Yeah.
And when Evo Japan happened. And basically, I even tweeted like, oh, no, I didn't tweet, but I said in my Discord server that like the day before, I was like, I have faith that there's going to be more diversity than just everyone playing Leroy. I tune into the stream, the first game's a Leroy mirror, and I'm like, fuck, shit, what happened, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, they messed up. And then in the end, we had 6 Leroys in top 8, which is pretty ridiculous. I don't think I've seen any other domination like that from any character.
Not even during the era of season 1 where it was Jack and Dragunov.
No,
right?
There's no such. Even in previous games like Lars or Bob, I don't think even them had such.
No, wait a second.
Domination.
Bob wasn't Bob in Tekken 6 like everywhere?
But I think there was never like 6 of them in top 8. There was like usually maybe 2, but that make it into top 8. Or at least that's what Aris said, I think.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Like when you have 75% of top 8 with one character, you know there's
You know
a
you messed up,
balancing
yeah.
problem.
That's a real issue. And Ulsan comes in during the intro, he puts up his phone, he's like, kill Leroy and whatnot. And then everyone's like hailing him as the Leroy killer. But dude, this guy plays Kazumi. Like, that's not that much better. There was a time when everyone was playing Kazumi too.
You know what? I actually think Kazumi is more balanced in season 3.
Yeah,
because
she's pretty balanced.
I definitely think so. Because with Kazumi, like she 1-1, right? It used to be -1. That's
And her downfall 1 used to be -1 as well. But that was
Yeah.
changed. Those were changed in season 2. Yeah.
right. But I'm still thinking that she's more evenly balanced now.
She's way more evenly balanced now for sure. Season 1 was pretty crazy, Kazumi.
Season 1, yeah. Because
Yeah.
like 1-1 being something that has an extension at the end and that you're -1, like you can basically do whatever the crap you want. Like
Yeah.
you could do
Her-
1-1 into Magic 4 if you wanted
Her
to.
downfall 1 is crazy strong as well. It still is as well. Yeah, but Leroy is crazy. There's a whole list of issues with that character.
Yeah.
But yeah. Man, watching all of those top players get eliminated was quite upsetting though.
My heart broke when Jimmy got
Of
eliminated.
course, you Brian players.
Of course! Who doesn't want to see Jimmy win?
The only Leroy player I really like is JDCR. I can't root against JDCR. That guy's too charismatic.
To be honest, I think the best Leroy player there was Chikarin.
Really?
Yeah, I actually
Wow.
think Chikarin was probably the best. Because just
Who
looking
did he
at
lose
how...
to? I don't remember who he lost to.
Look that up.
Yeah.
Evo 2020...
Chikurin-
Oh, sorry.
Chikurin's the kind of guy who picks the top tiers every time. Well, he went to Geese, and then he went to Akuma, and now Leroy.
I mean, despite what people think, I actually still think that Geese is still very powerful, and so is Akuma.
He is,
despite
but
despite the nerfs. Like, you
Yeah.
make one mistake when he has bar, you
Oh,
can
you're
get
dead.
deleted. You can get deleted
Yeah.
straight up.
he has a harder time getting damage in now, but when he does get the damage in, you're most likely dead. I think that's how they they basically try to balance him. They were like,
Right.
yeah, just don't let him touch you, and you're good. But yeah, the hero of the entire story was frickin' Mikio with his Julia. This dude was insane. He performed crazy well, and it was insane seeing him take down all these people. Because
Yeah.
I have never heard of this guy. I don't know if you have, but I've
No,
never
I have
heard.
not.
And then he just suddenly comes out with his Julia, and he's supposed to be like a super good player in Japan. So it's quite weird that I've never heard of this guy. Maybe he just doesn't enter tournaments.
Could be. Also, like, when was the last time you saw a Julia in top 8 in any tournament?
True. I think Julia is a really strong character, but
Same thing with Bob too.
she's locked behind an execution barrier. She is super hard to play. But I think she's super strong. I think I
So
could
the
put her in
thing
top
with-
10, you know?
So the thing with Julia is that she has so much wall carry that you
Oh
need to
my
actually
God.
know when
Yeah.
to cut back on the wall carry, right? Because
Yeah.
I believe she can basically carry wall to wall at any stage.
Almost every
And-
stage, yeah, she can.
Yeah. So the one thing that Julia players have to keep in mind is how close the wall is going to be. So when do they actually go for,
The screw, yeah.
when do they go for the screw? Because the screw is going to dictate how soon you
Because
can
they only have
actually
one
do-
ender, which is wall running 2-1. So
Yes.
if they mess up the timing, and then they're not gonna get the wall combo, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ulsan pulled out the Bob, which I was quite surprised by. I think he beat Chikurin actually, right? Did he beat Chikurin? He beat Chikurin with Bob? Well, he beat a Leroy player with Bob. I just don't know who it is.
Yeah. He okay. There's 6 Leroys. You're not going to be wrong about that.
That's true. Like he beat a Leroy player, you know? That's not really saying much. Did you? You must have seen like the funny clip all over Twitter that day though, where Mikio thought he won.
Oh yeah.
That clip is devastating to watch. I watched that and my heart sank for him, dude. He was so happy. And then
I mean, this is not the first time though. This is not the first time that somebody thought they won and was elated, right?
I don't remember if it was grand finals or winners finals, but God, he stood up and and his face, the camera zooms in on his face and he goes, "Huh? What the fuck do you mean I have to play them one more time?"
But here's the other side to it. When you're playing tournaments for that long, I think you do lose track of one, what time it is, two,
True.
like what's going on, like who you're like where in the stages.
Yeah.
It gets kind of confusing sometimes, especially you don't know like what set you're even on.
Right.
Because in the grand finals, it's best 3 of 5, right?
Yes, grand finals and winners finals. Wait, grand finals and is it? Yeah,
Oh,
grand
best of
finals and
three.
winners finals
Yeah.
and losers finals as well, I believe. So basically all the
Yeah,
finals.
losers. Yeah. Once you get to top 8, it's
Yeah.
all like that.
Yeah. So man, watching that was so upsetting, and he got destroyed the next 2 games too. So he lost.
I wonder if it was part of it in his head.
It was
that,
the momentum.
you know,
He lost the momentum. And that's super devastating because in a tournament, if you have the momentum, you can keep going. But once you get disrupted, that's why I always say, like, if someone hits the pause button, DQ, man, just DQ.
Yeah. Take it. Yeah, take it. Unless I guess if you're in grand finals, because then that's kind of a scummy grand finals win, and then you just feel bad about yourself.
You can't even feel good about winning that.
You're like, oh, so how did you win? Well, the other guy
my opponent got
paused.
DQ'd.
My opponent got DQ'd, so I automatically win.
That's such a shameful way to win, honestly. Yeah.
And then you could never show yourself in the Tekken public again, and you'd have to win another Evo.
Yes, absolutely. Man, that's how they got in on Rip, you know? Rip won the grand finals with the home button, right? Did he?
Oh, was that what it was?
I think it was. I don't remember, but it might have been.
Was this Tekken 6? Or what was
it? It was either 6 or 5, I don't remember. It was definitely around that time.
I didn't really follow Tekken that early on.
No, neither did I, but I try to learn some of the lore.
The lore.
So, not too long after Evo Japan, they actually dropped the balance patch, so to speak. It's not really much of a balance patch. So a lot of people were expecting some changes to many characters, but a few characters got like maybe one move changed, and then they got a whole list of Leroy nerfs, which
Well, they also had a bunch of little tiny bug fixes, which I didn't even catch on to most of the
no,
bugs.
I didn't get any bugs as well, but I guess they fixed it. But then they also came up with a whole list of Leroy nerfs that the community was pretty outraged about because of the fact that they're not enough.
No,
No.
it wasn't.
I saw the nerf list like a few hours after it came out, and I was like, they didn't do shit. This character is still pretty ridiculous. The main thing.
So did you want to start with the changes then?
Oh yeah,
start
we can go.
from the
We
first-
can do the
yeah.
changes. The main thing
Yeah, we
I
can start
think
with the firstly change.
the main thing I think people complained about that they did change was the orbital heal. It was -3 on block, and now they've made it -8, which actually is harsher than what I expected. I would have been fine with -6, you know. -8 is pretty rough, but
Well, let's be
you're
fair.
a Brian player. You have an orbital to defend, you know.
No. Just okay. So let me put it this way: Shaheen has an orbital heal.
Sort
Lars has
of.
an orbital heal.
Yes.
Like, I mean, these are they're orbitals nonetheless, right?
Yeah.
So I think for Leroy, the fact is he's not supposed to play like Brian, right? The reason why Brian's orbital is at -5 is because Brian is meant to be played at like range 1.5 to 8, where he is allowed to, use this move.
Right.
And not to mention, like, Brian doesn't have a move like Leroy's up forward 3+4. Right?
Yeah, okay.
To crush lows like that. Because technically Leroy could do that to crush lows, up forward 3+4.
Yeah, it's
lows.
a wall splitting move, It works.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Law's thing, so...
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Sort of. But that's why I think Brian has his at -5, and why Leroy doesn't get a -5 or a -6, because he's not really meant to be played as a keep-out character. And to give him -5 or -6 on it just feels really weird, because now he can play keep out if he wants to, which doesn't vibe with his character style.
He can basically play any sort of style he wants in a lot of ways, because he's very complete. And I guess giving him that orbital being the reason why I thought -8 is pretty harsh is actually because his orbital is way easier to whiff punish than something like Brian's or Lars. So I'm like, it's okay being like it's okay having the speed that it is, because it is faster than Brian's and Lars, right? It's like 4 frames faster, but it's also easier to whiff punish, which is why I'm okay with it being like -6. But they gave it -8, like, whew. That's pretty rough.
I don't think that's unreasonable, considering
I don't think it's unreasonable.
It's still safe. It's still safe.
It is. Yeah.
Like, after I throw out an orbital as Brian, I'm not exactly throwing out buttons, nor am I really sidestepping at that point.
No, -5 is hard to sidestep.
So in that sense, -5 and -8, if you want to think about it in terms
it's not
of
a
options,
huge deal.
It's not that big of a game breaker.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure I can think of other examples on where I might want to press buttons, but generally speaking, you don't really want to press when you're at that. Like the most minus I would want to press at is like -4. That's it to challenge. And then, even then, I'm just like either pressing a dick jab or I'm doing a standing jab. That's it.
Right. They also nerfed his cane, which is something I didn't see coming. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, my thoughts on the cane was either delete this move or make it a race drive and take out his other race drive, because his current race drive sucks, But
why does his current race drive suck?
It's just any other like whatever pushing back wall splat race drive, and not only that, it's hard to use in a combo as well because of the wall hit. So you can't really get a full wall combo because of the way they slump down already. So I think his current race drive sucks. Its range is not even that exceptional either, so it's whatever. I think they should have just made the cane his race drive, because it's basically a free race drive. But they made this from +8 to -7, which is a huge change. Because I saw on Twitter like someone using Yoshi could flash that shit, so it's pretty
but
insane.
This is okay. So the way that I see this whole cane nerf thing is, this +8 only really applies in the corner when you're at the wall, because out in the open -7 doesn't mean anything because of how much pushback there is, right?
I guess, yeah.
But granted, they decrease the distance on the first hit. Like, if you want to think about it in terms of Brian's like 3+4, that's -13,
right?
And it pushes the opponent back. But you're not necessarily safe to do anything after that.
No.
Because Brian can do a lot of things in order to stuff you out, because you have to press forward in order to close the
and then you
space,
have to do your move on top of that. So
and then you have to do your move on top of wasting your frames, your advantage frames to get in. So with this cane nerf, I really don't think this cane nerf means anything outside of against the wall.
I thought on block it was pretty close though. Like, it left them pretty close because of the weird knockdown animation it had. It knocked the opponent down, but they stood up immediately. But that weird animation made them recover like close to Leroy. So I thought it was still pretty strong. Like, you really couldn't do anything after that, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
What's more worrying though, is that they didn't nerf any tracking. which is what I'm pissed about.
Yeah, the second or last hit is tracking.
The second hit tracks a lot. You can't step that shit. And 4422, same thing. They didn't nerf the tracking. They didn't nerf the damage of 4422, but tracking is still there. They nerfed this combo damage, so they nerfed down 2-4, the damage of it, such that if you do the
scale as well.
Yeah, it doesn't scale as much basically. And they nerfed down back 1-3, which is a staple move in his combos, right? Because you have to use that after almost every launch. So his combo damage is pretty much it's still pretty high, I think. It still hits 70 like easy without walls.
What was it before? It was like 76?
It was like 77, or if you did I think it was like 77.
Yeah, okay.
Off the orbital heal. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's nerfed by like 7 damage. So they tuned it down a little bit. Which I guess is fine. The downback one I thought was a really cheap move. And they did nerf the downback 1/1+2. It used to be safe. It's a high mid that is safe with the wall splats as well, which is so messed up. That move was so messed up. I can't believe that was safe. But they made it only -10, which is, I think
that's nothing.
That's nothing. Yeah, that should be -13. I think it's
if you're not playing Mishimas, you're not playing Josie, and you're not playing Gigas. Like you're not getting a good punish.
Yeah, -10 is ridiculous. I can't believe they thought that was good. They made it easy to punish.
I think they thought it was good.
Oh,
I didn't think. Yeah, I'm sure they thought it was good.
Yes. Did you see the new hit animation though for up forward 3+4 1+2? It looks weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it. But then at the same time, remember when Jin got his forward 4 nerfed, where the opponent used to stumble back 1 step, and then now it looks like the opponent's slipping on banana peels?
Yeah, fuck. They go they like whoa, all the way back, dude. Yeah, I think that should be -13. Down back 1/1+2. I think they nerfed back 3 as well, which is his high safe launcher, which is like, I think that was a good whiff punisher.
The twirling.
Yeah, the immediate screw one. I thought that was. I don't really think that needed to be changed. 2 damage isn't really anything as well, but
2 damage is nothing on a move like that.
No,
especially because that move's going to be used either almost immediately.
Yes.
Or it's going to be used as the first move, in which case your 2 damage is absolutely nothing.
No, yeah, it's not anything.
Because the second hit of a combo is going to be scaled at 70%.
Yep.
So it's literally shaving off like 2 damage.
Yeah. So the down forward 3 nerf increase the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits when they are down. I initially didn't understand that. But then
this is for the pickup.
It's for the pickup for 443, his homing move. So you can no longer get a combo off of that. Which, thank God. I can't believe you could get a combo off of that. That move is crazy, dude. And they didn't even change it.
This is what I thought they were going to do with 443, right? 443 can be equated to Brian's mock kick, which is Brian's 444.
Except it's plus.
Mock kick is right, and neutral or neutral, right? You're either neutral or you're +6 or plus.
Yeah, it's plus
whatever. At tip range it's like +6, and then at up close up it's 0, right? And Brian's mock kick, regardless of distance, is either -10 or -9.
Right.
Sure, at certain ranges, you're not going to be able to get a dick jab to punish it, but certain ranges, you are. And yeah, it puts the opponent into crouch, but you're still -10. You're not going to press buttons.
No, you're not. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, you're not. So, with Leroy's 443, it's the same. It's a high, it's a homing move, and it comes out pretty quickly, but it's 0 to +6.
It's +1 to +6.
Or sorry, +1 to +6. My bad. +1 to +6.
I actually thought they were gonna make that like -3 to +3, depending on range, but they didn't change that at all.
Why? Just make that shit -9. Just make that shit -9.
I can, but I
okay,
guess.
fine. How about this? Just make it -5. I think -5 would be very fair for that move.
That's all right. Yeah, I guess.
Like, are you really going to duck a Leroy at range 2 to try to avoid this move? Because if you do, you get nailed by forward forward 2-2.
Oh
right?
yeah, 4-4-2. I forgot about 4-4-2 too.
They hit the same range. They're at the same exact range.
Nah, 4-4-3 has way more range than 4-4-2-2, right?
No, but like you can cover the same range. Like if you're
if
you're playing at range 2,
like the dash can cover
if you're playing at range 2, you can throw out 4-4-2-2, or you can throw out 4-4-3. Either way, you're covering the same amount of space.
Right. So something I noticed
you don't really
about 4-4-2-2, now that you mention it, is that actually they reduce the damage. But what I found more interesting is that I don't know if this is a stealth nerf or either I'm blind, but it seems like the pushback is reduced. Like, before there was ranges where you can't really punish that move because the pushback made it basically impossible to even get your 12 or even 13 frame punish in. But I really tested it. Like, I kept trying, but I couldn't get that range anymore. I don't know if it was a stealth nerf for the pushback on block, but I couldn't get it to be at that range anymore. So maybe they stealth nerfed it. I don't know, but thank God. that was one of the most like messed up things about that move. The tracking and the pushback. Those were the two main like buggers that really made it tough. So yeah.
Well, I think any move that has a forward input because of the realign is going to make it just track.
It's also the same reason why Dash Electric is unsteppable. Because the 4-4 realigns.
Like unless you're stepping during the electric phase where they're doing the forward into crouch, you're doing the forward into the crouch dash.
If they do a Dash Electric, it's unsteppable. Yeah. So so I guess that's about it for the changes. It's not a huge list of changes. And some of the moves...
You know what I was surprised that they didn't actually nerf?
Is it down?
Back 1+2.
Back 1.
That move,
Is it the parry?
And down 1+2. No. Back 1+2 is that short 12 frame counter.
Oh, okay. I remember back 1+2 now. I remember.
So back 1+2, I'm surprised they didn't nerf down 1+2.
Is the 12 frame counter hit launcher, right? That move is
12.
That move is crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when I first used Leroy, I was like, this seems like a shitty move. Like, the range is so shit. But
why would you use this move?
Why would you
this move
it's
is
so
terrible.
Good. What the heck? That move is crazy. You know, Mikio refused to use Party Crasher against Leroy because of back 1+2. Back 1+2 was, like, he used Party Crasher, like, once, and then he got counter hit. And then he stopped using Party Crasher after that. I was like, Jesus. It was crazy. That move is insane. It gains more range if your opponent pushes a button. It's basically like Lee's back 4, or whatever.
Oh yeah. The back 4 into Hitman.
Yeah. So that move is insane. Yeah, and down, like you mentioned, down 1+2 is another crazy one that they didn't change. That move is fucked up. That move.
Yeah, it is.
It's so
down 1+2.
messed up.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I can't. I'm okay with it being neutral, but it has to not force crouch. There's no way in hell that should force crouch. And if it is gonna force crouch, it should be minus.
With it being neutral?
I'm okay with it being neutral if it doesn't force crouch. Oh, oh no! Did I anger someone?
Those are some crazy words, but I think it should be like -2.
That's and not force crouch, right?
And not force crouch. -2, not force crouch. So I think that would be fair.
My idea was down 1+2, either neutral and not force crouch, or force crouch but -5. That was my thinking.
Force crouch -5. That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I prefer not force crouch and neutral, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I can see your logic behind it, because Brian's back 1, right? Back 1 is basically... So Brian's back 1 is his giant, like, chopping elbow, right?
Right.
So that's 20... I want to say 20 to 21 frames to come out. Mm-hmm. 20 to 21 frames to come out, and it's +4 block.
Yeah, +4.
Right.
Leroy's is 17 frames, yeah.
Right, 17 frames. So you're shaving off 4 frames of it.
I actually didn't even think of it that way, but I guess in my head I just like somehow did the math. But yeah.
So that's and Brian's doesn't force crouch. Unless
No, it
it's
doesn't.
on
Yeah, it
hit.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Brian gets plus 4 frames, but also it's 4 frames slower.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. This move is just
This move is crazy.
yeah. I think it needs to be like minus 2, and then not force crouch.
I think its
Or if
force
you-
crouch property is what makes it so spammable though, because you can't step that shit if you're on player
depending on
one.
what. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically like Dragunov's down 2 in season 1, you know? It's not really about the -1 or the neutral that people made a big fuss about. It's the force crouch property that was the big deal. And removing that was that was what made that move so oppressive, you know? Because
I
basically,
mean, when you're force crouched in that situation, you only have like 3 options, right?
Yeah.
Unless you want to go crazy YOLO.
Yeah.
Like your only option is either dick jab while standing 4,
yeah,
or
or step.
crouch cancel.
Yeah, so that's your only options, and that's what makes it super suffocating when you're playing against a Leroy as well, because they can just do down 1+2. You can either try to challenge, but then they can do some shit like 1-1, which is gonna counter hit and wall splat you, or
Right.
they can do another down 1+2, you know, and that's the messed up part, and that's why I'm so shocked. I was super shocked initially, and when I saw that this move wasn't on the change list.
You know, you want to think about it this way. How often have you seen in a tournament where a Brian player gets to do a back 1 into another back 1? Like, you're
well, I don't see many
rarely-
Brian plays to begin with.
Okay, but in tournaments though.
Yeah,
In tournament
no, not
settings, like, you're
often.
rarely going to see you're rarely going to
Well,
see Brian
they
do a
usually
back
do
1
back
into a
1
back
into
1.
down forward 2, right? So yeah, not often.
I mean, they'll do back 1 into hatchet, or back 1 into
To-
nothing, or back 1 into down,
down
forward
forward
2 for
1,
a check.
down forward 2, yeah.
Yeah, so those types of things. But a Leroy, you see down 1+2 into down 1+2, and nobody wants to press a button.
No, yeah, nobody wants to push.
So
it on.
that should give you an idea of how strong this move is, because in Brian's case, because the way that I see Leroy is that he's a character that has a giant compendium of other characters' moves, right?
And he makes them the
He's got-
best version as well.
Right. He makes them the best version as well. So that I compare down 1+2 to Brian's back 1. And if you're not really seeing Brian players in a tournament setting doing like back 1 into back 1 because of, one, how steppable it is, and whereas Leroy's case, you have down 1+2 into down 1+2. Like I saw it quite a bit in
Right.
the top
Yeah,
8
it happened a lot. So many
Yeah.
down 1+2s, yeah.
So I think that's why this move should get some sort of a nerf. And I'm sure Bandai Namco is going to address it in their second round or something.
Yeah.
But then what was the other? I forget. My limited brain capacity forgot. What was the other move we were talking about? Oh, back 1+2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back 1+2, I had the same initial thoughts as you when I saw this. I'm like, wow, I guess Leroy doesn't have a Magic 4, so
Yeah.
back 1+2 is.
I thought
in
it was a
place
shitty
of
move
a
at first.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it ended up being like one of his top moves, which I was pretty shocked by.
I think this is, if you want to compare it to a Magic 4, this is the Magic 4, but as you know, there's
Sort
quite
of.
a bit of characters who have a hard Magic 4 combo, right? Asuka has a hard Magic 4
I wonder
combo.
who.
Like Brian has a hard Magic 4
Hella
combo.
hard, yeah.
Yeah. And then who else has a hard Magic 4 combo? I think Leo's is semi-hard. You also have to do a dash jab afterwards. But basically any character that has to do some sort of a dash animation or connect a rather hard attack for Magic 4. But this move, if you consider the range also that Leroy wants to play at, he wants to play at like range 1, roughly.
He can play at any range, to be honest.
He can play at any range, but I think he's best probably played at range 1.
He's very
Something along
oppressive,
those
so
lines.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. So if he wants to play at range 1, back 1+2 is a fantastic Magic 4 button.
Right. And it's hella hard to whiff punish too, because that shit recovers hella fast. And
Yeah, I believe it does recover pretty quickly.
it recovers super fast. I think
Now that
back
I
1+2
think about it, back 1+2 has almost the exact same frame data as Brian's Magic 4.
is
12
Brian's
frames
Magic 4
minus
12
5.
frame?
Yeah, Brian's Magic 4. Dude, I wish he had a 11 frame.
I thought it was
Magic 4.
11.
I'd fucking spam the shit out of that thing. No. Like Brian's Magic 4 is 12 frames minus 5 plus 6, right? Minus 5 on hit plus 6 on hit. Or sorry,
minus 5 on block. Yeah, okay,
plus
I got it.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Leroy's is back 1+2. And that thing, it's the same frame data.
Mm-hmm.
So
Except his is a.
I mean,
mid.
but this
his
is
a
yeah.
mid. Oh yeah, I forgot it
It's
was a
a
mid.
It's
That was-
oh my god, yeah, that's right. It's a fucking mid.
I completely blanked out. I was like, oh, yeah, it's like a magic 4. Oh wait, it's a mid. That's right. That's why it's so messed up as well.
Yeah, so if you're ever at -2 and you try to like do a dick jab, you're gonna get
you're gonna
fucking counter-hit
trade,
with
and then
Red.
he's gonna win the trade.
He's gonna win the trade every single
Yeah.
time, clean.
And I remember I wrote down when I wrote down my proposed nerfs, I didn't really think about back 1+2 too much. I only said like, oh, change from 12 frames to 14 frames. Now that I think about it, probably should make that also slightly worse than that. I think making that 14 frames or 15 frames would be pretty fair though.
If you want to keep it at 12 frames, what you're gonna have to do, I think, is increase the whiff recovery, right?
I think that has to
Increase
be
the
done
whiff recovery.
regardless. Even if you make it slower. Cause that really does recover hella fast. You really can't punish it.
Mm-hmm.
It's super hard. So I think you have to make it slower and make it harder to make it easier to whiff punish as well. I'm okay with the block.
So what? Make
block
it
frame
make it
data.
like -13.
No, I'm okay with the
-13
block.
Or sorry,
I'm
I13. I13.
Oh yeah, I13 or
Start
I14. I'm okay with I14. I prefer I14. But then it also has to be easier to recover. Easier to whiff punish. But I'm okay with it staying at what is it -5 on block?
-5 on block.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like I'm perfectly fine with that. I know some people who want it to be like -9 or some shit. I think that's a bit rough.
-9 is super rough.
Yeah, that's
Like
kinda-
it's yeah. -9 is super rough to deal with.
yeah. That's back 1+2. I think that move is crazy. I didn't even think much about that move to begin with. I end up being super good. They didn't nerf his hell
Oh
sweep.
yeah.
I'm okay with this hell sweep except for the tracking. That shit tracks both. It might as well be homing, you know? It's basically a homing hell sweep.
Yeah, sure.
And 1-1. Oh my god. 1-1. 1-1 is so messed up. Dude.
I don't think 1-1 got a change to it.
No, it didn't get a change. That 1-1 is crazy. I can't believe. I believe 1-1 was the winning move as well. Because Book did a 1 jab into 1 jab. And then Mikio decided to push a button. And then he did 1-1 confirm into 1+2 1.
Wha-
And then wall splat and then 1. That was the winning move. This move is crazy.
Okay, so what would you rather have? What would you rather make 1-1? High?
I know exactly how to change this. I wrote this down.
Okay, all right, Bandai
Okay,
Namco, listen
so
up. Listen up. Keith knows the answer to this.
so the way it is now is it's full natural string if the first hit is a counter hit or the second hit lands as a normal hit, right? I think they should move that 1 space back. They should make the second hit land as a counter hit or the third hit land as a normal hit for it to be natural. I think making it fully natural combo from the first hit as a counter hit is so messed up.
Okay.
I think the second hit should be it should only be natural on the second counter hit or the third hit being normal hit. That's how I think it should be. I think you don't really need to make 1-1 it's like a high. That's probably not a big deal. It would be nice if it didn't jail also. It doesn't jail. No, it doesn't jail. 1-1 plus. Wait, what am I talking about? It's a mid. Second is a mid. Yeah. So
What?
So you can duck the third hit, but I think that wasn't really it's still hard to punish because of the weird lingering hitbox. So
Yes,
maybe
you need to do a full crouch move that
optimally a full
definitely-
crouch move if you have one. If not, you have to time it well, I guess. And I also think that the third part, the 1+2 part, should be -13. It should not be -10. I think -10 is pretty whatever. So that's my change.
1 1 1 plus 2.
Yeah, 1+2 should be -13. Last hit being launch punishable, that's fine. It should only be natural.
I don't think it should be minus.
You don't think it should
actually
be
want to say
-13?
it should be like. I think it should be -12.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, -12 is fine as well. And then I think the second hit, it can only be natural string if the second hit connects on counter hit or the third hit connects as a normal hit. That's my
Those are good changes. I think that's a good change that the second hit has to be counter hit.
yeah. That's my thoughts. I think can you imagine getting that much off of a counter hit jab? You know, that's
No.
yeah.
No. No.
What does any other character have something like that?
Yes. Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, who?
Fang.
Wait, really?
Fang and Jack. Fang and Jack. Back one into back one. Back.
Oh,
into
wait, back one is 10
shoulder.
frames? Oh, it is. I thought it was 11. Oh, God.
No.
Yeah, it's 10.
No. It's 10.
And
But
yeah,
back one.
Jack forward
is-
2. Yeah. Right.
And then Jack's forward 2, but forward 2 is -12.
Right.
So like Jack can't exactly freely throw it out there if the opponent is on point, right?
Right. I guess the argument can also be made to just make this harder to hit confirm 1-1. I think that would also be fine if it's basically harder to hit confirm. But then again, if you were sharp, that's not going to be a big deal.
You'd be surprised. I think in a tournament setting, it might actually be harder potentially, because you have all the stress of that. But at the same time, like 1-1, 1+2, 1, I think is the hardest hitting counter hit. It does even more damage than like Jack's 4-2 into 4-4-4 and Fang's back 1.
Yeah,
to
I
shoulder.
think it is. And especially if you get a wall, that shit is ridiculous. Because of Leroy's combo damage is already super high anyway. So,
That's true.
yeah. The 1-1 is like the first move I would change. Maybe down 1+2 would be the first move I would, but 1-1 is, you see that move come out so often because it's so good. And
I mean, that's kind of like Geese's and Heihachi's down forward 1-1, right? Where you can kind of just like spam it out there.
yeah. So
You got to be super sharp to duck that second quick high hit, but in this case, you can't even
you can't duck
this
it.
because
Yeah, it's a mid. 'Cause that moves.
Well, that's why I think that 1-1 should be a high, right?
Sure. That's fine. I'm okay with it being a mid, to be honest, but as long as they make the other changes as well. Like,
Really? Then maybe Brian's 1-2 should be the second hit should be a mid instead of high. I would love for my 1-2 to second hit to be a mid, so
man,
that I can at least get
when I
plus
play
4
Noctis,
frames.
I don't
on
have
it.
a lot of good stuff, man. I just want my
Yeah, but you just need one button.
True. All I asked for is Noctis is 1-2-2 to be +4 on hit. Is that so hard?
I think they stopped supporting Noctis.
No, I don't think they like Noctis. Yeah.
They knew it was a mistake.
So the final things that I want to mention about the changes, these are minor. Back two, the parry, they didn't really change it. Whatever, right? I want it to be slower to recover on whiff, and I also want it to be have a smaller parry window. And downfall 1, I want it to have a smaller hitbox. That's about it. They nerfed the
Are you talking about a vertical? Are you talking about a vertical
hitbox,
or a
yes.
horizontal?
Yeah, vertical hitbox. Or horizontal as well. I mean, the last part of my proposed list of nerfs was nerf tracking on all moves.
Nerf tracking on all moves.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fair because a lot of characters, they have moves that you can step.
This guy, you can't step this guy. The only thing you can step is down 1+2.
You have to commit to a hard ass sidewalk
yeah.
for a lot
I saw
And
so many people stepping the correct way against Leroy,
they still get clipped.
and they still get clipped by that downfall one every single time, which is
Yup.
so fucked up. I've never seen a downfall one that tracks that much. It's ridiculous. I think
It is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So I want tracking nerfs on all moves, please. And the parry, if they don't change it, whatever. If they do, I just want it to be slower to recover and hard. It has to be a good read. A lot of the times people just spam the parry and it works. And I also
Yeah.
so that's why I wanted to have a smaller parry window.
Well, it's a 20 frame window, right?
Is it? No, that's crazy.
Wait, what's the window? What? Come on, what is the window?
It's pretty big, but I don't know if it's 20 frames. That 20 frames is huge. Dude, Noctis's parry is so shitty.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It recovers so slow. And its parry window is not even that big as well. It's only
Where is this?
I think it's
Where is this?
it has to be
It's
small.
gotta be.
20 frames is pretty big though, if it is actually 20 frames.
Oh, where is it? Where is it? Can I not find this? Yo, are you in the Leroy Discord?
No, why
Leroy
would I be
Discord.
in the Leroy Discord? I don't play that stupid character. Is there? Oh, there's already a Leroy Discord. Of course there is. Why isn't there?
Of course, there's a Fakum Ram Discord.
What?
How could you not have a Leroy? Yeah, get in that shit, man.
Unbelievable. People get on that shit so fast. Yeah, so that's about it for the changes. But I think what really ticked people off, and I don't know if this popped up in your Twitter timeline, but basically these patches were, someone went into like the freaking source code or whatever. They went Hackerman on that shit, and they saw that these notes were dated for like December of last year. And I think that really ticked.
Yes, I believe I ran across that tweet at some point in time.
Yeah, that ticked a lot of people off. And look, it could mean that they already knew they were releasing a broken character. They probably did. But it could mean that, and they already had a list of nerfs that they wanted to do, or this could mean nothing at all. It could just be they added it as time went on. Who knows?
So there are two options in my opinion. Okay, so all right. These patch notes are dated back to December of last year.
Yep.
I think the most likely possibility, if we want to give if we don't want to give Bandai Namco the benefit of the doubt,
They released the character they knew that was going to be
and then we throw them under the bus, then the option that we have is they decided that at that time, look, we want to make our money.
Yeah.
We're greedy fuckers.
So
we want to make our money.
Release a broken ass character.
We release a broken ass character. Everybody can get on board, mash some buttons, learn some janky B&Bs, and still deal 68 to 72 damage.
And then we'll nerf him later. We've already gotten the money.
And then we'll nerf them later.
Yeah.
So if we want to go that route and throw them under the bus, that's the answer.
I don't think
But-
that's the case though.
Right. So the other option is they started looking at things that were broken,
Right.
that they wanted to fix. For instance, maybe they did start with characters like Leo, where they fixed an issue with the half part of the move, and then like they also were looking at Shaheen with the down 3 into down forward, the sneak stuff,
Yep.
all these other things. Maybe they started taking a look at all of this and they were slowly building upon it. Because I have a hard time believing that when you're trying to troubleshoot and bug fix,
Yep.
you're going to do it all in one day and all in one sitting, and you're going to find all the bugs and you're just going to be like, "Bleh, here's a list."
Right.
That's pretty unlikely, right?
Yep.
And also it's going to take time for people to provide them with feedback on Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. The other option that I have, if we want to give Bandai Namco the benefit of the doubt, is that yes, this was dated for that date, but maybe they didn't want to release the patch immediately. Maybe the Leroy stuff that we're seeing now is only part of the list, and they've gotten rid of a bunch of the other nerfs that maybe would have destroyed the character. Because let me put it this way: people don't really.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So let's say stuff like his Hell Sweep. Maybe they decided to nerf the damage by 50%. That would have killed Hell Sweep altogether, in my opinion. Like, why would you ever do a Hell Sweep?
Useless move.
Useless move. So maybe they had more nerfs on Leroy, and they decided to cut back on it. That's an option as well.
I don't think that's the case because they have other nerfs coming.
But those could have been a part of the original batch.
Oh, maybe, maybe. I think what happened is just they made this like whatever document, right? And then these patch notes, and then they just as time went on, they added stuff, and then they just released it. And people are like, oh, it's dated at this time, but I don't think they did that all in one go. You know,
no,
so
there's no way that you do it all.
They didn't like type all of this shit out in like one sitting. I think they added it over time, which is why I think it means nothing that it's dated from December. And
the other thing that I want to point out is that yes, the gamers know what the immediate experience is, but I kind of also don't like it when games immediately do a nerf on something without letting players. So let's say Leroy was released and then 5 days later Leroy's nerfed. That kind of feels not enough time for players to adjust to the character.
Right.
You know?
So like it would destroy basically like the players who have been prepping for Evo Japan.
No, not even that. Oh. Like you want players to evolve, right?
Right.
Because there's certain things about characters that you don't know how to counter until you've labbed it enough. There's little hidden gems and things here and there. For instance, like which way to step, which way, like, can you backdash this? Can you do this and that? I feel like 5 days is not enough time to properly adjust for that. So I also don't like it when games do that, where they release a character and then 5 days later they immediately nerf them. Now, I think the sweet spot is probably around the 2-week mark, something along those lines. Because within about 2 weeks, there should be enough like tech and stuff to figure out if a character is broken or not, if there is going to be a counter of some sort.
Yep.
Because the counter can be as simple as play him at this distance. When you're in the mid-range, you can sidewalk, sidestep, but when you're at range 0, you cannot sidewalk, sidestep. You just literally have to backdash your way out.
Right. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. The way they're doing this whole nerfing thing, I don't know if you like it or not, but some people are ticked off by it, but they're doing this slow nerf because like Michael Murray came out and said like, we are releasing there should be a nerf coming soon, right, in a few days, mid-February, and then another one that's going to be a full character balance patch before the tour starts, so probably around March or April, around that time. So they are slowly nerfing Leroy. They're going the slow route so people can slowly adapt to it, but some people just want to kill him now, you know. So I don't know which camp I fall under. To be honest, I'm okay with them slowly nerfing him because there's no real big tournaments now, so it's not so bad. Sure, it's not as good for the player experience now because he's still a pretty strong broken character, you know. But I think that they are thinking of it from from a mindset perspective. When let's say you main Leroy, right? You have all these tools and you suddenly strip him away all at once, which is going to be quite painful because enough it hits twice as hard as a buff, right? And Leroy's not going to get any buffs.
Yeah.
You take all of that away, and then it's going to be so hard to adapt already. So you need to give them that transition period to go from this broken ass character slowly to normalize him, rather than just strip him away. And all the Leroy players are like, "Shit, what do I do now?" Right? So that's
go back to Akuma.
Go back to Akuma. that's Chikurin's already thinking that. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going back." Yeah.
Well, this is I like your way of thinking about it as a method of slowly transitioning players into a harder nerf. The other way I would like for people to think about it is this. What if the second round of nerfs for Leroy is enough? What if it's actually enough, right? if you put out a giant nerf on Leroy
that's
to
gonna
the
be
point where
insane.
he's unplayable, then it sucks that you have to like, oh fuck, we call HQ. Fuck, we nerfed him way too hard. Now he's unplayable.
Yeah. Now nobody buys him.
then that kind of feels bad because what you've basically done now is slaughtered a new original character
You went all the way the other
who
way.
who you might want to bring back in Tekken 8, but nobody's gonna want to like deal with that, and you're be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna play Leroy because like they murdered him in Tekken 7 at the end.
You're basically going all the way the other way. Like
Right. I'd rather games slowly take little steps towards the right direction than a giant lunge towards that other side just to appease fans. Now, I know all the fans out there want to see Leroy nerfed to the ground because they're sick and tired of playing against him. They're sick and tired of getting parried every single time. They're sick and tired of being hell swept, not being able to do anything. They're sick and tired of getting hit by like down 1+2 into down 1+2, back 1+2, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all of this is very, very clear. And I understand the pains too because I tried playing rank and it was just not a very good experience.
imagine playing ranked LOL. Yeah.
But like let's think about it from a developer point of view, right?
Right.
You have to keep the fans happy, but at the same time, sometimes fans are just reacting out of their sheer rage and emotion.
Yes,
Like,
they're
you
thinking
just
in
lost
the
10-0.
moment. That's what's happening.
Right. You lost 10-0 against a Leroy online and you're like, fuck this character.
Yeah. I think the same about Chloe, and Chloe's not even that amazing of a character.
Oh, I love that matchup.
Oh yeah, you talk so much about how much you
I'm
love.
the only person who loves that matchup because I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the first matchups that I labbed
Right.
because I had two players in the lobbies that I played at who played Lucky Chloe. By the way, shout outs to Haitake Kakashi. Thank you for your wonderful lobbies. There was just two Chloes, and like if you didn't learn the matchup, and there was a 5-man lobby, you're just gonna get blown up 2 out of the 5 players, and one of them being you. So half of the time you're just gonna get blown up. So if you didn't know how to like deal with Cali roll spring kicks, you didn't know how to deal with the windmills and the sea chairs, like all this nonsense, you're just gonna get blown up every single time.
Yep. Yeah. So.
But Leroy is a much more solid character than
Oh
Lucky
yeah.
Chloe.
Oh hell yeah. Of course.
Yeah. You look at Lucky Chloe's lows and you're like, wow, these are some terrible ass
She's
lows.
got pretty terrible lows. Well, they gave her a good one now. It's pretty good. The running
pretty
one.
good now, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm okay with the slow nerfs. I'm excited to see what the second nerf is gonna be. The second patch is gonna be coming in a few days. I hope. I think.
I'm curious to see what the third one's gonna be.
Oh, the third
for
one.
Leroy.
Yeah. Look, there's no way they are not nerfing the moves we talked about earlier, like down 1+2, down back 3, 1-1, and yeah, maybe back 2. I don't know. There's no way they're not touching those.
Yeah, there's no way there's not touching those.
I think everyone's been talking a lot about 1-1 and down 1+2. So yeah, they're gonna have to touch those.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, Michael Murray came out and said so I'm gonna take his word for it. It's hard for me to see Michael Murray's tweet sometimes because he gets very sensitive sometimes on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, I would too. Like these guys pour their heart and soul. Like these
true,
guys,
true.
as much as
I understand that.
Okay, as much as the tournament players, as much as the community pours their heart and souls into this game, Michael Murray also pours his heart and soul into this game too, and I'm sure, and Harada as well, right?
Of course.
Tekken 7 almost wasn't going to fucking happen because of the disaster of Tekken
Tag 2, yeah.
It was because of those two who literally went to Namco and pleaded with them and said, look, guys, we need to make a Tekken game and it's going to be the bum.
I can't believe people now are saying, like, let's go back to Tekken Tag 2. That game was better. No fucking way. That game is no way. I think that game is not as good as Tekken 7 Season 3. And to be fair, I'm one of the few people who actually like Season 3, but gee, the people that are saying, like, we should go back to Tekken Tag 2, that was actually a better game. I think the novelty is going to wear off very quickly once you start playing that game again. I think...
Yeah, you don't like the fact that you get, like, comboed for, like, 10, 15 seconds of
that
not
that
doing
that
anything.
game is crazy. That shut a lot of people away, and I know season 3 is also kind of doing the same, but I don't think we're at that level. I think people are overreacting. IMO. And look, the game's
I actually think season 3, what they need to do is, here's my suggestion: Tekken 8, reduce the damage of combos. Okay, like just take
I'm okay
whatever
with like the
amount
season
of
1
damage.
combo level, like combo damage level. Season 1 style.
You could do that, or you can technically pull it back a little bit more, so it's more poke oriented.
I think now the damage is so high because everyone has good wall carry. Back then, not everyone.
Yeah, everybody has good.
There's a few people who didn't really get any real wall carry changes, like I guess Noctis didn't get any wall carry changes. Did Brian get any wall carry changes? No, right?
No, but it made his hard combos slightly easier
Oh,
to
right,
do.
yeah. And
I mean, you still have to time certain things. You have to time the dash after the triple spin kick, like
4-3-4, yeah.
You still have to, yeah. So after 4-3-4, you still have to time the back 3, but it's a lot easier to do now.
I think
Before you had to be like a fucking Jedi in order to time it, or else you just miss it.
a lot
even
of
though I still
characters
miss
now
it.
have such good wall carry, and a lot of them got buffs to certain moves that would potentially help their combo damage as well. Like Devil Jin, for example, got his back 2-1, which is now his highest damage combo ender if you can get it to scale properly. And that shit does a whole lot of damage, and it's super painful to get hit by. But
King also has an easy mode now. You don't have to like do a triple jab into 4-4-1.
Oh yeah, that new screw, yeah.
That's like a combo that like you need to get down at some point if you want to go for like max wall carry and shit.
Right.
But nowadays, like even then, I would say it was kind of a requirement in order to get King down, to be able to do that, to play at like an high intermediate level. But now you can kind of go for more easy stuff.
Yeah, you can go for easier stuff. King is hella good, by the way. I just have to say, King is super good.
I put King kind of in the mid tier.
What?
I put him in the mid tier.
You're nuts.
Yeah.
King is
He's
mid
good,
tier.
but at the same time, I feel like there's just other characters that do stuff better than he does.
Maybe.
Like, yes, his grab game is really good, but at the same time, if you play against an opponent who's very good at throw breaking, like it's
True.
It's kind of harder, right?
Right. Yeah. I actually think Devil Jin needs buffs, weirdly. I think Devil Jin's one of those characters that I feel like needs buffs. His combo damage is super low unless you get an electric. And electric is the only combo he can get that's high damage. Literally every other combo he gets is super low damage. His wall carry is whatever as well. It's not great, so yeah. So look, I don't expect a huge, like they say there's a major character balance patch coming in the before the tour starts. I translate that to some characters will have like 2 moves changed. You know, like I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. And the reason why I say that is because
it's not gonna be like a whole season 3.
No. And the reason why I say that is because they always phrase it that way, but I think it's just a translation thing. That's how they phrase it, but that's not what actually happens. Like this one, you know, they say it was gonna be a character balance patch, but look at Yoshimitsu got 1 move changed, Leo got 1 move changed, and most of these are just like bug fixes, you know.
Yoshimitsu.
Oh, Yoshimitsu's one I saw.
It's a crazy
range.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a huge balance patch. So that's my thought.
So I think you're right. I think people are gonna get like 2 moves changed, or maybe it could be as minor as a little bit of a frame data change.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think it's gonna be a big deal.
No, I don't think so either. So what's the next topic that we have on?
We
board?
actually it's already been an hour, so we should probably do this topic pretty quickly. The next topic is gonna be the EVO 2020 lineup. What do you think?
Right. Okay.
What do you think?
Okay, EVO 2020 lineup. All right, let's see what's here. Street Fighter.
Not surprised.
Tekken.
Yeah, not surprised.
Super Smash Brothers.
Not surprised.
Under Night Inverse.
Also not
Eunice.
surprised.
Dragon Ball Z. Samurai Showdown,
Okay.
Soul Calibur 6,
Uh-huh.
Marvel vs. Capcom
That's the
2.
one I was like, what? What is that doing
I
there?
know. I didn't realize also that this initially was a invite-only tournament.
Wait, it is? Oh.
I think so. I think it's only top 8 qualifiers for this.
That's interesting.
There will only be 8 players, and they have to be, I think, Evo past
What?
Evo champions or something.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's why it's titled Champions.
I see. Oh, Tournament of
At
Champions.
least that's what I think it is.
Oh, I see.
Anybody listening to this podcast, if I'm not right, don't crucify me. All
So,
right?
someone add him on Twitter. Hey, you said this wrong thing in the podcast, you know?
you said this wrong.
Yeah. And then there's also obviously the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which just came out on PS4.
Oh, so you mean there's no Mortal Kombat 11?
I was very shocked.
That feels bad. You know why? Because all the other NRS games have had 2 years of Evo. Mortal Kombat 10, Injustice 2. That was 2
I
years.
think it's because
I
Evo
believe-
and NRS don't play well, from what I heard. Like they don't like each other that much. Because
Really? So is
NetherRealm
NRS gonna do their own
never
private
gives
tournament?
them like reveals and whatnot like the other games. I think. So there's some politics involved. From what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, they don't really like each other. So maybe that's why they cut them out.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty crazy not to include Mortal Kombat 11, even though I don't really like that game because I don't play it. And from what I've watched, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's a Mortal Kombat game. But I'm pretty shocked. I feel like you could remove like Dragon Ball Fighter Z and put that in.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh,
on this
shit.
podcast.
Oh,
People are gonna fucking crucify you.
I
for
mean,
that.
what else are you going to remove, you know? You can't remove Street Fighter or Tekken or Smash.
You could not include Grand Blue Fantasy versus. I mean, I don't.
Well,
I
that's the
honestly
new
don't know
game.
much
You
about
have
this
to
game.
include the new game.
Okay, how about Marvel vs. Capcom
Yeah, you could probably
2
take that out. Yeah, you
Champions?
could probably take that out.
I'm curious how many people will enter in this year to Samurai Showdown and Soul Calibur 6. I
Samurai
know
had
there is
quite a lot
big...
last year.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it had Samurai Showdown had like a lot of entrants last year, which was very surprising. And it seems like a lot of people like that game too. So maybe it'll do well. Soul Calibur 6, I'm not sure.
Okay, in your opinion, what are the games that you are not surprised by on that list?
On this list,
Not
Street
surprised.
Fighter, Tekken, Smash, Samurai Showdown, and Dragon Ball. Actually no, take away Dragon Ball Unist. I'm not surprised by those. I'm surprised Dragon Ball made it back
Okay,
in,
so-
to be honest. But I thought it wouldn't last another year after last year.
The ones that I'm not surprised by is Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Smash, Dragon Ball Z. I'm not surprised by because everybody fucking loves, some DBZ.
Sure.
And Unist did really well
Yeah,
last
Unist
year.
did really
so I'm not surprised by that. The only two I'm surprised by that made it back was
Soul
Soul
Calibur
Calibur 6 and Samurai Showdown. Those are the two that surprised me.
Right.
But then again, I don't really follow Samurai Showdown that much, and I also don't follow Soul Calibur.
I'm not
that much
surprised
either.
that Soul Calibur made it in, but I'm just confused that it made it in over MK. That's all.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm surprised.
I feel like
That's-
those two.
Well,
could
that's
be
the reason.
traded.
That's the reason why I'm so surprised by it.
I think Samurai Showdown coming in is not surprising for me. It did quite good numbers. It surprised everyone at how good numbers it did last year. So I'm not surprised. A lot of people seem to like that game. Yeah, so could be good.
You know what would actually be really cool for Evo? Every year, that center spot is a old game that was featured at some point in time.
Oh god, they're gonna put in like Street Fighter 2 or something. Third Strike or whatever. And then
I think that would be really cool. Or they could even
well, it's like
every so often bring back maybe Melee,
I
right?
feel like you
Smash
have
Melee,
to
'cause
put
I
that
know
as a
the Melee
side
community.
tournament though. Can you do that as a main title?
I mean, they can do it with Marvel vs. Capcom too.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
see why
I
they can't
guess.
do it with other games.
I keep forgetting about this.
I mean, you
stupid
could say
game.
the same thing. You could say that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 should just be a side tournament.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're making it a main
That's
tournament.
unbelievable. That made it in, but not MK. I'm not even an MK player.
You know what
and I'm
also
mad
this
about
means?
it.
The fact that this is a center game tournament also means that Evo 2020 is going to run shorter in terms of time, I think. Because you don't have a whole bracket of Mortal Kombat to
Yeah,
run through. You just have
true.
like top 8
Oh,
players.
it's easy to run. I mean, look, the Smash guys are
easy to
always
run.
late. So
Right?
it's okay if we have a shorter bracket, you know? People want to go home.
What was the biggest entered in tournament last
Smash.
year?
It's
Super Smash
yeah,
Brothers?
it's easy. It's
Yeah.
always Smash. There's no way it's not Smash.
It's always Smash?
It's always Smash. Smash had like a crazy number, and then followed by Street Fighter 5, and then very closely, like it was only like 50 people,
Very close to Tekken
like
7.
50 people behind Tekken 7. Yeah, it was Tekken 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tekken's growing every single year.
Yeah,
so
I think Street
this is
Fighter
a-
had-
This is a good trend.
I think Street Fighter didn't grow every single year. I think. Did it have lower numbers? Like the year before or last year than the previous year? I don't remember. I don't think Street Fighter grew every single year. But I know Tekken 7 did grow every single year. Smash is always going to stay on top, you know? That's not surprising.
That's because I think Smash is in 2 parts. One, they have really, really strong community building.
Okay.
There's a lot of variety of tournaments being held everywhere.
Right.
And the coverage that they have. And I think it's because the community has to be so good about it because Nintendo doesn't really support too many of these
No.
tournaments, right?
And man,
yeah.
man, whoever won Evo Japan, man, that sucks for him. He only got a freaking pro controller or whatever.
Wait, seriously?
You didn't know?
Is that all you
The prize for
No.
winning Evo Japan Smash was like some special gold controller with the Smash logo on it. That was
Wow.
no prize money.
Dude, I could go to China and probably get that made for you.
It was
Just like, I was like, you see this picture? You see this picture? I want you to make 100 of these, just like this one.
it was so sad because like he worked so hard for a controller. I saw Leffen talking shit about it on Twitter. Of course he was talking shit about it on Twitter, but man, that shit was funny
Yeah.
as hell. I can't believe that was the prize. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm okay with the lineup. I just think it's weird not having MK. That's about it. I think that's what everyone feels, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty whatever. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited, of course, but only for Tekken,
Yeah.
you know.
Are you gonna go to Evo this year?
Fuck no.
No.
I'm probably never gonna go to Evo.
Oh, that's right. You're gonna be in the military, right? So you're not gonna have time.
Yes,
to...
but I actually don't know when. I just think it's too expensive for me to go. It doesn't make sense.
How much does it cost for you to go?
I-
Just for a plane ticket?
For a plane ticket, ooh, it depends on what plane I take. Like, and not only
Like a regular international plane, not like a build yourself a plane.
no, like I mean, it depends on the airline. You know, you could take like a budget airline, or you could take like Singapore Airlines, which is nice. Which
I guarantee you, any airline you have is going to be better than the American Spirit
what
airline.
the fuck is that? I've only heard of like JetBlue.
See, exactly.
Oh.
You don't know what the fuck that is. Basically, what it is, hey, do you want to cut costs on this flight? Then ride Spirit. You don't even.
it's the
you have to
American
even
budget
pay
airline.
It is. They basically strip you of everything, so you have to pay for everything, right? You
What?
carry on, you got to pay for that.
Oh, that's how
check-in,
they
you
make
gotta
their
pay for
money.
that.
What?
Mhm.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
And their little trays that fold out. Their little trays that fold out from the seats. Yeah, they're not even actual real trays. It's just scrap pieces of fucking metal that just it just fold down.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't want to take that. But
No.
yeah, I'm not gonna go to Evo. I would love to, but well, one, US is not really a place I would like to go, and secondly, it's just costly.
Oh, I'm a little hurt
Oh.
by that one.
Look, man, I just have more places I like to go to. You know, I wanna go to Japan.
Well, look, you can keep your coronavirus
Oh,
over there
shit.
'cause we don't want you either.
Look, man, the first foreigner that died is American. All right, don't come with me on that. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to go to Evo, but probably not. I mean, definitely not. What the hell am I saying? Yeah, I'm not going. Hell no. Are you going?
I think it's always worth it, at least not this year, probably not in
How
2020.
far away are you from
I just have
Las Vegas? You live in?
I'm like 3 time zones away from Las
Oh,
Vegas.
jeez.
So it's gonna be at least, I want to say, like a 8-hour flight.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be at least an 8-hour flight, and then on top of that, I would have to pay for hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the hotels at Vegas is actually pretty cheap for the most part. I remember going, I think 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago I went to Evo, and it was really cheap on the day I arrived. So I arrived on a Wednesday. So the tournaments and stuff start on what, Friday?
Friday I think it's Friday. Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. So I wanted to arrive 2 days in advance so I could just start playing like friendlies with
casuals.
people and get some games in. Yeah, so I arrived on a Wednesday. I remember my hotel being $40 on Wednesday.
What?
And then
That's
it was
crazy
$30,
cheap.
like 30 or $40 on Wednesday.
That's kind
And then it was like 50 something dollars on a Thursday, and then it shot up to like $100 on Friday, and then
Wow.
100 and something on Saturday, and 100 something on Sunday.
Nice.
So
Interesting.
like the weekends is where the prices
Of course,
shoot up.
yeah. That's when everyone comes in.
Not surprisingly. Yeah. And then if you don't gamble, then you can save quite a bit of money. Food is pretty expensive. Water is fucking expensive. If you want a bottle of water at the hotel, good luck. $5 for bottled water.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think if I would just ever go to a US tournament, it would have to be Combo Breaker. Like, there's no way I could not not go to Combo Breaker. That tournament looks hype as hell, man.
What about CEO? That shit's held in a fucking
CEO is cool, but
wrestling
I think Combo Breaker, the entirety of last year, my favorite tournament to watch was Combo Breaker. So, Combo Breaker is the one I would love to go to. You know,
word.
Combo Breaker is pretty sick. Evo is like, it's cool, but yeah. It doesn't have the homey feel.
Okay.
Man. Come on.
No, I get you. I understand what you mean. It's like too big and corporate in a sense, the Evo thing. Yeah.
All right. That's it for the
All
first
right,
episode.
so
we should
are
wrap it up. Holy shit.
Yeah, we should definitely wrap this up.
We should. Okay, what do you want to plug? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I just hope that everybody who joined us for this first podcast of Back to the Lab is really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Please leave us, both of us, myself, Peter Y. Mao. You can leave me any sort of comment on this video. I'm open to any suggestions.
Yeah.
And Keith?
And same thing for me. If you want to tell me anything, you can just leave a comment, or you can also join either one of our Discord servers. It will be in the descriptions of the videos, and you can just tell us anything that you want, anything you think about the podcast, any of your thoughts. It'll be fine. Follow us on Twitter. Twitter is where we're at. It's pretty good. And yeah, that's about it. If you're listening on an audio platform, thanks for listening. Hopefully this was good on your commute. And the links to the won't be in the show notes because of the way the audio platforms work. It's kind of hard to have links on there. But you can just go check out the you can just go check it out on the video version as well in the description of it, and you can find us there. But yeah.
Yeah, I know that like you can't do the links on Spotify, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks everyone for
All right.
listening.
Well,
man.
thank you everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.